पावरफुल ग्रुप की इन्वेस्टर कॉन्फ्रेंस 24 में जाने माने एक्सपर्ट्स ने आर्थिक विकास पर की चर्चा। मुंबई, पावरफुल ग्रुप की शनिवार को शुरू हुई इन्वेस्टर कॉन्फ्रेंस 24 में इंडस्ट्री, इन्वेस्टमेंट और रूरल डेवलपमेंट के क्षेत्र की अग्रणी हस्तियां शामिल हुईं। सम्मेलन का उद्घाटन कई जाने माने महानुभावों की उपस्थिति में हुआ, जिनमें एडवोकेट मनस्वी थापर, राजनीतिक विचारक और सीरियल उद्यमी अमित परिक, एमएसएमई और स्टार्टअप फोरम भारत के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष तथा लिपि खंधार का समावेश होता है।
I know some of the Indians have gone to the US, explored and been CEOs of big companies and all that. We are very popular. India is very popular with their diaspora. But I felt that why not here also? So we need to do something for the Indian diaspora here. And so I created a non-profit organization in 2016, Step Up, for our young adults to take the first step to step up in their lives. And that was my goal. And entrepreneurship was a thing. I felt that instead of us worrying about and struggling to find jobs, it was very important for us to not be job seekers but job creators. So when you create entrepreneurships, it automatically comes in the picture, and we create entrepreneurs instead of creating, hey, go to school, get your education and go find a job. No, we are going to create the jobs so that we create employment enough for all this. So that's how we came with the strategy to create 50,000 job opportunities in the next 2-3 years. We want to do that. And that we're going to do with investors, at least for 2,500 investors. You know that we do a lot of seminars everywhere, in the US as well as in India, everywhere, right? But we go there, listen to these seminars. We like a few things here and there that each and every seminar gives us what nobody gives you. Our Indian kids have gotten the education how to be an entrepreneur and use their brains and minds. I can open this as a business or that as a business, but then the question is, do we have the money? Do these kids have the money to start that business? And generally speaking, no, right? The answer is no. So we made sure that start to finish, we create entrepreneurs, but then we have to have funding available for them. So we have created venture capitalists that can also fund their projects. So from A to Z, we wanted to make sure everything is done. Then we have other projects, which is our senior organizations, and our seniors are not taken care of well. Sometimes the kids can and cannot, and that may be the reason. So we wanted to create provisions even for the seniors. How can we take care of them? How can they live in a nice environment? And I feel that after 50 is when you really use your brains and minds, and you start doing something for yourself. But here I see that the retirement age is like 58, right? So that is the time when all the ladies also, and the men and everybody, all the kids, everybody should be using their minds to do something as a business, not work for somebody. They've already worked, retired, do something with their lives, and they're all very capable of that. Sorry. That's Nehal.
हमें ना अभी क्वेश्चन के आंसर्स करने हैं.
हाँ, जरूर.
Maximum.
So if they have a project with them, we want to connect them with the investors and run with your project. Simple as that. So it's answering the question of an entrepreneur. He becomes an entrepreneur pretty much. We have school. We created a school and educational system here also, and we have certified that also here. And we'll be starting that in 2025, correct? Yeah. Early 2025, where the kids will go there and get all the training they need. But the interesting part about our school is also going to be, it's going to be free education. Kids don't have to, young adults don't have to pay anything. Free boarding, free lodging, everything will be taken care of free. And so let us be also like how we say over here, Narendra Modi always talks about it, is Vasudeva Kutumbakam. If we bring the energy from all the levels together, we can be stronger at every given time. If you try to separate and say, oh, we don't like this or we don't like, instead learn something good. There's something good to learn from America as well, but there's a lot to learn from our own culture, Vedic culture that we have. It's very nice, right?
Under what age group is the school students?
I think we said 39 or something, right?
Yeah, so
Graduating students from here, right?
yeah.
What about national and international investor? What's your plan? How to attract them?
So what happens is that you have to understand that we are the third largest ecosystem in terms of startup ecosystem in India. But we have largest companies already working for 25, 30 odd years in India, and they are like stagnant. If you really look at the growth in Indian economy is really stagnant, not because of the entrepreneurship ideas are not there. It's just that execution is not done. All the people who are executors are old enough, and the new generation hates innovation. So to inbuild innovation in that, there has to be something that helps them. So our entire model is basically helping them mentor, incubate, and fund their projects. So when you talk about how is this going to be onboarded? So we created a platform, which is Powerful Group is basically not an event company. We are a platform which is the world's first ROI based collaboration and networking platform, which means that we onboard high potential entrepreneurs and we onboard visionary investors who have already done strategic investment in their own businesses and want to now help other businesses.
Say something about the key benefits of your platform.
Yeah.
Sure.
So there are three main benefits for the entrepreneurs, and there are two main benefits for the investors that I don't think so any organization here does. And plus, we have a scientifically proven methodology to make sure that this happens. Point number one is the mentorship that we provide is top notch. To make sure that if you have an e-commerce business, you will be mentored by someone who have done and made an e-commerce business work. Second is the incubation. Your entire product's life cycle and your branding and go-to-market strategy is figured out in that particular zone where investors know where they are investing into. So if investor is investing 100 rupees, he knows where the 100 rupees is going rather than he is skeptical about how the entrepreneur is going to use. Third and the most important part is funding. We fund only on the basis of strategic investment, which is a pharmaceutical investor will only come from pharmaceutical sector. If he doesn't have an experience in pharmaceutical sector, he's not going to do that. For investor, I said there are two benefits, right? The first benefits is that he has a ROI based investment, which means that every penny that he's investing into entrepreneur goes into the project that is in the go-to-market strategy of the entrepreneur, and not even a single penny goes somewhere else. Second is that since this is a scientifically proven methodology, he wastes less time into talking to a lot of pitches, and he only meets the entrepreneurs that are really connecting and really have understanding of his field. So these are the key benefits for the entrepreneur and the investor perspective.
Any people who have already taken advantage of this, any investors, and how many investors are already there on board, and how many people have already benefited or they are about to benefit?
We have several projects, and one of the projects that I can specifically mention here is our pharma project, which is we have an investor and an entrepreneur who has almost 200 patents of different things he has invented.
Okay.
And these patents are really superb, and they're all Ayurvedic patents. It's not allopathy. So which means that it has no side effects. So you see that there are so many injuries, whether it is an accident or whether you're talking about in the military where soldiers are fighting for our own country, and there are so many injuries there, and most of these deaths are from not stopping the bleeding.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a medication here which this person has invented, and we are helping this person to start the business mostly here in India.
Yeah.
It's already situated, everything. So that's one of our greatest entrepreneur, and we have an investor that goes with this entrepreneur.
You have an investor, you have an entrepreneur, but apart from the investor and the entrepreneur, there are other requirements like marketing. There's financials.
Yeah.
The cash flows are very.
This specific project, for example, it's something which even a common man could keep a small, like how you can keep the first aid package in your car. You could keep one of those in your car, that if somebody gets hurt and you want to stop the bleeding, immediately he has something available. So we want to make sure that every person everywhere in the world knows about it. Now this has a global presence also. It's not just India and it's not just USA or anything like that. It's a global presence because this is very marketable and we are doing it in India. So India is the base of it.
Yeah.
We provide this big project not only here, the medication, but all over the globe. So you are popular. India is the one that's going to be popular. Because the guy who is doing it is also an Indian, not an American who has invented something like that. Then we know that we are the Ayurveda number one in that, all the Ayurvedic stuff. We're known for that all over the world. And so I think who else could be the primary people to do this? Just us, right? So that's how we are dealing with all these things so that we don't fall behind in any aspect. Marketing, as you mentioned, number one in those things, so not even a question that we have in our minds at all.
So
we have so many PR companies that we have affiliated also, USA as well as here, everywhere. So we have already connected with all
Any
of them.
international investors or
Yeah. So this all started with Indian diaspora all over the world. Okay, now having really concentration on what India is doing, because of obviously our Prime Minister's, India is like marketed well now outside. So now what has happened is that now everyone is interested to whatever money that they have earned to make sure that we can also invest in India. But the problem is that they have failed before. They have invested before and they have failed. So there has to be a platform that gives them return of investment guarantee so that the investment is properly made.
Sir, how is expected international investors?
Yeah, so very nice question. In fact, day before yesterday, that is on Tuesday, we closed the investment cycle of approximately $600 million.
Yeah.
And for one particular company where the term sheet was for 1 year, so 1 year of receiving for the chemical industry. So right now for India, we have approximately $310 million investment that can be done in entrepreneurs based in India, but depending on the projects.
Is Powerful Group into crowdfunding as well?
No, we are not. So it's simple. We are not into venture funding, rounds funding, or angel investment. All these terminologies that is there, okay, is like startup funding and all that. We don't categorize business into startup and a agent business, because what happens is that in business, every day is a new day. Everything is a new. Every market is a new opportunity. So rather than talking about startup and a legacy business, we should concentrate on their product. We should concentrate on customer sentiments and make sure that we give solutions to the customer, and customer will reciprocate.
What is your main target or goal? Say something about it.
Yeah. So so we have a small short-term goal that we have set for the 3 years. That is, we will be generating 50,000 employment opportunities by investing into 2,500 businesses in the next 3 years. So this is our goal. Okay, we have other projects that is in terms of Project Humanity, which has different goals of which. Like for example, one of the Project Humanities is saying that we can create 40,000 employment opportunity in the next 20 years in the rural village. We are not creating opportunities in the urban village so what people do in India is that they study in rural areas and they come down to urban areas.
Cities, yeah.
Yeah, and they come to cities and they stop the entire growth of that particular rural village, which could easily be possible with their talent skills. Now we are bringing back the opportunity in the villages by making sure that we have a couple of initiatives that Vasudhai mentioned about.
So do you have any plan about awareness?
Actually, March is when people are telling us to do one quickly.
Yeah.
And so there's a planning needed, and so Ahmedabad we did a pre-event that also technically wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But when they saw we're doing something powerful, they said, hey, why don't you guys come to Ahmedabad and start one there? So we had to do a pre-event there. So last September we did a pre-event there when Narendra Modi was in India, in the US, right? So I managed the Narendra Modi event there because I was one of the main organizations to participate in the welcoming side of it. And he managed the Ahmedabad one. So that's why we shared the things. But what we have seen, and from the study of these, you all know that also, I think $37 billion from the statistics has been spent for useless seminars. We go to our seminars all the time. We listen to them, and what are we attracted with is how the speaker speaks.
Yeah.
So any event you see, they hire a good speaker, right?
Yes.
Because they want that speaker to promote their product, whatever it is. It may be a useless one, but because of the speaker, you will see a whole bunch of people coming there and say, okay, let's go listen to him, But to be honest with you, the production is nothing, zero. There'll be people even putting money in there for that speaker, not the product actually. They just assume that it's a good thing and they sign up. We have done a study of that, and Business Week has already published that $37 billion have been spent in useless conversations like that, the seminars and all that. So we didn't want to do that. So everything they're doing is something that nobody has done before. And that's our concept really.
How many companies are associated with
One second. Let me continue that conversation, okay? AMA, that is Ahmedabad Management Association, when I went, there was one emotional sentence that I would like to tell you guys. That is that AMA was been founded by Vikram Sarabhai. The reason he founded IIM in the first place was because he wanted to create job creators in India. And the problem is that every IIM in India or abroad now, okay, their entire ranking mechanism is on the basis of the packages that the people get, which is you're creating again the job seekers.
Yeah.
I don't think so Vikram Sarabhai would have loved that today. So point number one is if we go back to that strategy, where the strategy of creating IIMs, the strategy of creating IITs, the strategy of creating ISROs. I mean, that is what India needs today, and I think so. There is a lot of people out there who either read or listens to us. I'm telling you, there are a lot of people out there who trust India, who trust in our economic growth, and who trust in our political stability. And they can invest in India, and we want everyone to make sure that we can make India great again.
See, we did a youth conference, for this purpose.
Yeah.
And the youth conference was basically founded on the same basis, which is in how the diaspora can help the Indian kids over here.
Yes.
I had asked him to come there to USA in New Jersey, and we had 9 segments out of that, and the youth conference was the #1 conference in there. Everybody wanted to talk. After that conference, we had people lined up to talk to us. That's how impressive was that this is something different and new.
Yeah.
And so there's like so much potential for our organization and our thought process, and everything we're doing is something you'll never see other people do. There has to be clarity in that. You know how many people have tried to, even from the US, have tried their level best to invest in India. Nobody trusts India. Nobody trusted, I should say. There are a lot of things developing on this side. When I come to India now, and I see how the Indian kids have learned to speak English fluently and all that, we don't fall behind in anything, right? So that is our biggest plus here. Technology, if we talk about, there's nothing we don't know. That even I see the uneducated shopkeepers, they have a phone, they know how to operate it, the technology, right? So it's amazing. And if you go to the US, I don't think everyone knows that. You go in the rural kind of areas, they don't even know what you're talking about. So we are far advanced in so many areas, in so many ways. So we need to take India to that level, that promising thing that we have. I know that there's a lot of corruption happens in the background. That's what I heard. I'm not involved in it, but we should get away with that.
Thank you. We wish you success in your endeavor.
मैं भाई one word.
Yes, sure.
सारे जहाँ सच्चा हिंदुस्तान होता है.
Fantastic,
Exactly.
fantastic.
And
you're
look at
doing a
me.
great
See,
job.
I've spent 45 years of my life in the US, and yet I'm here today with my heart being here to do something for India. So that's an appreciable thing, correct?
Powerful Group is a American group which is working in the field of entrepreneurship, investments, and mentorship. So they are trying to bridge a gap between the West and India to create synergy. हिंदी में बोलूँ ना, वो बेटर. Synergy इंडियन entrepreneurs के लिए, अमेरिकन entrepreneurs के लिए एक synergy बनाना चाहते हैं, जहाँ पे लोगों को एक्सेस मिले वेस्ट का, इंडिया का, इंडियन टैलेंट को एक्सेस मिले अमेरिका का और यूरोपियन रीजन का. ये उनका टारगेट है और उनको इंडिया का एक्सेस मिले. सो दैट इज़ व्हाट दे आर ट्राइंग टू ब्रिज. द जो गैप है उसको ब्रिज करना चाहते हैं. तो उसके लिए एक उन्होंने इवेंट यहाँ पे बॉम्बे में किया है. आइडिया है कि यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को कनेक्ट करें अमेरिकन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के साथ, यूरोपियन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के साथ. जो टेक्नोलॉजी इंडिया में डेवलप हो रही है उसको कैसे स्केल अप करें बाहर के देशों में, और बाहर के देशों की जो टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप हो रही है वहाँ पे वो इंडिया को कैसे बेनिफिट करे. ये आइडिया के बैकग्राउंड के साथ उन्होंने ये इवेंट यहाँ पे ऑर्गेनाइज किया.
And what are the synergies in this?
So I am one of the keynote speaker here as a chief guest there. So the idea is as we also invest and mentor in lots of startups, तो हम भी चाहते हैं कि उनके साथ पार्टनरशिप करके कि जहाँ पे भी कुछ स्टार्टअप्स है जहाँ पे बेनिफिट मिल सकता है तो उनमें हम लोग जॉइंटली इन्वेस्ट करें या मेंटरशिप करें. सो आइडियाज ऑफ कोलैबोरेशन हमारा एज द ग्रुप और हमारी पार्टनरशिप का आइडिया है कि हम लोग एक दूसरे से कॉम्पीट नहीं कर रहे, एक दूसरे का कोलैबोरेट कर रहे हैं कि कहीं पे भी एक अच्छा स्टार्टअप है उसको कहीं पे भी कोई ग्रोथ अपॉर्चुनिटी दिखती है, जो हमारा टैलेंट है या उनका टैलेंट है उसको बैलेंस करते हुए हम आगे कैसे बढ़ें, ये आइडिया है.
And talk to us about your initiatives to empower the young entrepreneurs.
So there are multiple initiatives. So the basic idea what comes to the mind is कि largest इंटरनेट यूज़र्स इंडिया से आते हैं, लार्जेस्ट स्मार्टफोन यूज़र्स इंडिया से आते हैं, लार्जेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजिकली एडवांस लोग इंडिया से आते हैं. तो इंडिया बिकम्स अ लार्जेस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी, इंडिया बिकम्स अ लार्जेस्ट कंज्यूमर बेस. उसको किस तरीके से हम एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में कन्वर्ट करें. अभी क्या हो रहा है, बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स एंड सर्विसेज जो यूज़ हम करते हैं एज इंडियंस, इट इज़ मोस्टली आउटसोर्स फ्रॉम द अदर कंट्रीज. अब मेड इन इंडिया के बदले मेक इन इंडिया को हम किस तरीके से बैलेंस करें. कि अभी क्या हो रहा है, वी आर जस्ट इनटू द आइडिया ऑफ मेक इन इंडिया कि बाहर की कोई भी चीज़ हम यहाँ बनाएं. हमारा कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है कि टू मेड इन इंडिया. That's what we want to progress. It should be from India, that Indian identity. जो भारत की हम बात करते हैं, अगर भारत का अगर आप संधि विच्छेद करो, उसका मतलब है लाइट प्लस नॉलेज, जो हम इतने सदियों से दुनिया को देते आए, अब वापस वो 21वीं सदी में हमारा समय आ गया है, तो वापस से हम कैसे उठें, आगे बढ़ें और देश को आगे बढ़ाएं. तो दैट्स द आइडिया एंड द रूट विच वी हैव टेकन अप इज स्टार्टअप्स एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप.
Can you introduce yourself and your engagement with the platform?
Yes.
Power.
मैं अमित परीख हूँ, गुजरात से हूँ. And I'm a national president of one forum called MSME Startup Forum Bharat, which is based at Varanasi, and we have pan-India presence. And we have a global presence also. Our basic concept is to connect overseas Indian diaspora में जो बाहर लोग हैं उनको इंडिया से कनेक्ट करना है. और we support the MSME and the startups. MSME या स्टार्टअप्स का एक जो कनेक्शन होना चाहिए वो कहीं कम दिख रहा है. तो हम लोग इसमें लगे हैं कि किसी भी तरह MSME और स्टार्टअप्स का कनेक्शन हो और ओवरसीज इंडियन है जिसको देश के लिए कुछ करना हो, इसको एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म दे.
Can we hear it from
मेरा नाम लिपि खंडार है, मैं गुजरात से हूँ. बीजेपी महिला मोर्चा वाइस प्रेसिडेंट की मेरी जिम्मेदारी है, एंड आई एम अ मीडिया पैनलिस्ट ऑल्सो. जो ये इनिशिएटिव है पावरफुल ग्रुप का, ये इनिशिएटिव स्टार्टअप के लिए एक ब्लेसिंग की तरह है. और जैसे हमारे देश में इतनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ आ रही है, इतना स्टार्टअप को बढ़ावा मिल रहा है, एंड गवर्नमेंट इज़ ऑल्सो गिविंग बहुत सारी योजनाएं दे रहे हैं कि कैसे बिजनेस को, स्टार्टअप को आगे बढ़ाया जाए. तो इसी संदर्भ में जब पावरफुल ग्रुप इतना ब्रिलियंट एक इनिशिएटिव स्टार्टअप को सपोर्ट करने के लिए लेकर आया है, तो मैं यहाँ पे उनके साथ जुड़ी हूँ. अलग अलग योजनाएं हैं, गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसीज़ है, कैसे उनका हैंड होल्डिंग किया जाए, कैसे स्टार्टअप का मेंटोरिंग किया जाए, उसके इनिशिएटिव से मैं जुड़ी हूँ. और मुझे लगता है कि अब जो समय आ रहा है, भारत का समय आ रहा है, तो यही समय है, सही समय है कि हम स्टार्टअप्स को, युवाओं को एक ऐसा सपोर्ट दे, एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म दे कि वो ग्लोबल लेवल पे अपना मार्क छोड़ सके.
Thank you.